All right. Thank you so much for meeting with me today. I just kind of wanted to take a minute to talk about like the work that we have done as a team. I know that you've been in the field for a little bit longer than our other teacher that helped us in this plan. So just kind of thinking of how did you grow, even being a master already, a master teacher, how did you grow in this work, and like how was this able to impact your students' literacy skills? So if you want to kind of just start by talking about maybe like what reflections did you have during this whole process?
Yeah, well, I feel like with with this process that we did, I really grew a lot as an educator, especially with teaching little kids. Really realizing how much data we can collect and what we can do to help these students. Even though we have access to all this data, and we really just analyzing. I feel more confident and comfortable knowing like what data I should be taking, how to analyze that data to help me, with the instruction and during intervention and during small group. So I did become way more confident in that, and knowing, I guess, the value of it. Because, like, especially with the little ones, like we do letters and all of this, but how much just a simple data collection can give us to know how to drive the instruction was mind blowing to me. I also feel like I learned the value of collaborating with other teachers, getting to know them, their strengths and my strengths as well, so that we can use all of our strengths that we have when sharing our kids and coming up with the instruction on what to do.
I know, like, when we kind of talked about that middle of the year data, we were talking about, like, a large percentage of our students were staying from that A reading level to A reading level. So when we started targeting those, what kind of routines and structures do you think, like, really helped analyzing that data? I know we kind of broke them down, like, we all looked at our students as a whole versus just looking at, like, your class or looking at her class. And so I know that kind of contributed to, like you said, utilizing those strengths and getting the students to where they're both most going to make that growth.
Yeah, but sharing that data too, like how we had that live the reading level tracker, so that let us gave us easy access to all of our students' reading levels, and we were all able to the whole group was able to see all the students' reading levels, and we were able to see it as we were discussing and coming up with a plan. So that was very helpful. Also having the live Google agenda helped us, just stay on track and be organized and all aligned. Helped it be more aligned, so that was very helpful. And I know for me, I was very nervous at the beginning, and just with my confidence in sharing ideas and all of that. So I think the way how it was structured, how we would break into, we do turn in talks and have our discussions, just made us made us all feel more comfortable sharing, and then breaking into smaller groups and then sharing with each other. It just helped us ease, especially at the beginning. So that was really good.
I know you kind of talked about it a little bit already, but talk to me like about your growth as a team member. Like, how did you feel stepping into a new role, having to like collaborate with us, having to collaborate with our academic interventionists, stepping beyond just the normal kindergarten team? How did you feel like you grew as a team member?
Well, I mean, you got to see everybody's ideas, from the interventionist, because she's worked, made me, so like just seeing her, getting her ideas, and then the other teachers' ideas, it was very helpful. And because I realized, even though I feel like, with how I'm doing it, just hearing everybody's ideas made it more useful. And like if I had questions, y'all were there to help with me, and just it was nice.
All right. What kind of structures do you think that we put in place as a team? So think about like us having jobs, us kind of dividing out. I know like our other teacher, she was more focused on like the phonemic awareness, breaking down letter sounds, blending, and then you were more focused on like building the high frequency words, getting our students to actually read. So how do you think that making those structures really helped us as a team?
Oh, I mean, because we were able to, like we said about the strengths, seeing our strengths. So like where I was lacking, she was able to like, and I was learning from her to also help me when I'm doing like the letters and all of that thing. But I think that made us more goal driven, I guess, for me to like really focus on the reading and what we can do instead of trying to think of everything all at once. It helped if, us divide it and really focus on one thing and then share it. So I think that was very helpful.
Moving forward, I know we've gotten to work together a lot in the past 2 years, but what kind of things should I adjust for maybe future collaborative teams if we were to roll this out with upper grade levels and I was to kind of sit down with them and have these same sort of meetings? What kind of adjustments do you think that I could make to make sure that the whole process and planning and team members feeling unified and feeling all valued and heard? What kind of adjustments do you think I could make?
Well, I really liked how we were meeting bi-weekly. That was very helpful. And then just, like I said, having the life agenda to where if there was something I thought was important, I could add it in. So that was really nice. And I would keep doing our, breaking into smaller groups, doing all of that, having the reading level tracker. The one thing I would suggest maybe adding would be maybe a time where we got to analyze the data together more. So, because like sometimes I would analyze like my data on my time, but it would have been nice also to get more time to look at student samples and kind of get to talk more with that. But yeah,
I know we took on reading level data, we looked at M-class data, and so do you think that it benefited you to kind of like be front loaded with that data, or is that something that before we ever even start the process, do you think like other grade levels would benefit from having their own time to sit to desegregate the data and then bring it together, or did you like having it first?
Like just me by myself or everyone?
Think about just you by yourself right now.
Yeah, so like I'm a person that I like to plan in advance, I guess. So like whenever after my students do something, I think it is helpful for me to like figure it out and also come up with questions that maybe things I didn't understand so that I can get that answer. So to make it when we meet together more effective. So because sometimes it takes a little longer to analyze it a little bit than others. So I think that would be helpful. And then making sure that all the teachers in whatever teams you're working with understand how to analyze the data, especially if it's like something new like M-class and they've never done it before.
How has reviewing the reading levels changed the way that you plan instruction? I mean, like, you were great before, so but how has that maybe changed how like now I know this is the more targeted things that I could do with my A's or my B's?
So like especially in kindergarten when it's they come pre-reading usually. I've learned like what goals the students need to achieve at certain levels to make them successful to move to the next level. So that helps in my instruction and really emphasizing and not like especially with those developing kids, making sure that I meet them where they are and not move too fast and make sure that they're solid and like, blending, for example, if they can't even blend a CBC, that, we need to go back and just do, onset rhyme or syllable blending. So I feel like I'm more prepared now and know what to look for and know how to plan my small groups better.
Beautiful. All right, my last question for you is going to be, how do you think our reading level work that we did, really just breaking it down, targeting those kids in those small groups, being able to share the kids, how do you think that it impacted our team culture?
I think it made us more unified. I think collaboration was a big part of it. We saw the benefits of collaboration. We got to know each other, so not only and felt more comfortable, because sometimes I feel like in a school teachers feel like, I have a lot of low kids and are kind of scared to share that information, but it just made us feel more comfortable in sharing and made us more more motivated to really work hard to make sure that those kids were meeting their goals and just celebrating together and encouraging each other. I think that really helped the culture and just making us feel more confident and seeing that growth in our students and in us, and knowing that no matter how low they are, all students can grow, and they grow faster with the collaboration of using everyone.
Right.
So, yeah.
Well, that is all the questions I had for you. Of course, I always want to help you grow, and then breaking it down like this has really helped me grow as well. So I appreciate you taking your time. And hopefully our other grade levels are able to do the same thing so we can continue to see that reading progress.
That's very helpful, and I
Perfect.
appreciate it.
Yeah.